What up, what up, what up? You know what time it is. It's time for another Top 17 countdown on CarnivalSpirits. Today's Top 17 is fan bases that are next in line to be labeled as a gang by the FBI. Number 17 is strange music fans, also known as technicians. Don't be surprised with one day the snake and the bat is recognized as a hybrid gang logo, and all the technicians repping strange music apparel could very well be labeled as a gang.
Pretty much. I mean, it's possible. If Juggalos can be a gang, they can be a gang too. I mean, it's definitely got a lot bigger within the last couple of years. You see them everywhere. So why not? You know, they like to party and all this shit. That's what Juggalos like to do too, and they got labeled a gang, so why not?
Strange music is one of several different labels that have fan bases that could very well be discriminated against, like the Juggalos have. When it's baseball season and everybody's out to the ball game with their uniforms and their foam number ones and their mini baseball bats, why wouldn't baseball fans be subject to the same persecution? They certainly get rowdy depending on which team they're rooting for, thus the gang aspects. And people get very competitive.
Yeah, you are right. They could be. They get a little out of hand. They get a lot out of hand over some fucking, baseball and team.
He was fucking safe. You motherfucker.
Right.
I'm kicking you in the motherfucking shins if you don't fucking get your head out of your ass.
Right.
If you're repping baseball, then you're a part of a loose hybrid gang. In every fucking city, they got their colors and they got their chants. And when they come together and they're fucking pissed off over a stolen base,
or you're not wearing the right jersey,
just give them an excuse. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about this fan base that has been around for about 3,000 years. Okay? They're one of the oldest fan bases out there. I'm talking about the Parrot Heads. That's right. Jimmy Buffett fans. They're dinosaurs. So when they come out together for a cheeseburger in paradise, imagine if the FBI decided to target these peaceful people that are united by nothing but music, good times, fucking beer, and maybe some titties and cowboy hats. I don't know. Not cowboy hats. Mini umbrellas inside of fruity drinks. Yeah. Titties and umbrellas and fruity drinks. That's about all the Parrot Heads are fucking apt to do is spill their fruity drinks. But I think labeling Juggalos as a gang is just as a ridiculous concept as labeling Parrot Heads a gang.
I don't know much about Jimmy Buffett or his fans, but...
Oh, are you kidding me? They're like cannibals. Holy... No, they eat each other. Oh, yeah. You got brothers and sisters inbreeding. You got, grandmas doing keg stands.
Son of a bitch.
You got Elmer Fudd with a handlebar mustache running around with no fucking pants on. Run your shit. Alright, I'm making jokes, but this is a serious fucking list. Top 17 fan bases that are next in line to be labeled as a gang by the FBI if we don't clear up our basic human rights here in America. And funny as it is, this next group is not from America. They're from Canada. I'm talking about none other than Swollen Members and the Battle Axe Warriors. Now I want you to think about this, because every time Mad Child's trying to come into the States, they give him some bullshit reason why he can't. And if you listen to Swollen Members, then you're very familiar with his plight. You know, he's got face tattoos, he runs with goons. And these guys got a fucking movement, and they consider themselves a family as tight as those Michael Jackson zippers on his leather jacket. Seriously. I've seen on Swollen Members' website posts from Mad Child himself, delivering motivational updates on how united and strong their movement is, and how they're not a gang at all. They're just a movement united by music. And you know what? That's the whole point of this fucking video, is that you can't label a group of people united by music and call them a gang, no matter how disheveled and unruly they may appear to you.
So other people are seeing these big groups listening to one person, and they don't understand it. They think it's gang activity when it's really just a bunch of people that enjoy a certain type of music getting together.
You hear that? You numbskulls? That's a fucking cipher, okay? And maybe they're passing around a blunt. No big deal. That shit's been decriminalized. Let's go on to the next fan base on the list. Top 17 fan bases next in line to get labeled as a gang by the FBI. And
it's going to happen.
Which one? Everybody who is a fan of country music. You motherfuckers.
Yep, terrible fucking music.
That's right. You guys are being labeled as a gang strictly because of your bad taste in music.
There's a meme out there. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it shows the parking lot, and it'll say Metalhead Show. Everybody's parked all nice, and everything's good. And then it says Country Show, and everything's fucked up. Looks like a tornado went through there, and everything's like destroyed and fucked up. And country fans got a bad reputation for getting fucked up and drunk and crying about how their girlfriend left and their dog's dead and their life's terrible.
Yes, country music fans are already one fucking foot in the grave. Or that's the wrong expression. I don't even know how to put this. Alright, everything I said about Parrot Heads joking around, that should have been said about country music fans. They're the fucking cannibals. They're the inbred motherfucking drunk ass buffoons. I don't know. But isn't that what people say about Juggalos? If like enough people gather together, you are technically a fucking gang. And it just so happens that being together with friends and family feels better than being alone. And so being labeled a gang just because you found people you feel comfortable being around, and you've got a fucking barbecue, a family reunion, or maybe you're just hacky sacking on the corner. I'm sorry, we're talking about country music fans. You're whittling wood on a rocking chair, I don't know, with a fucking piece of wheat hanging out your mouth. I don't know what you fucking country fans do. Maybe you're playing Angry Birds on your iPad. I don't know what the fuck you guys do. But watch the fuck out, because if the government can label Juggalos a gang, they can label your Conway Twitty listening asses a gang too. So we're gonna jump on to the next fucking fan base on the list of top 17 fan bases that are next to be persecuted by the FBI and labeled a gang in the near future if we don't correct this shit. And that is professional hockey. All right, let's talk about hockey.
You're allowed to hit people in hockey. That's violent already.
I was going to say, if you ask any hockey fan what do they love about hockey, what are they going to tell you?
Beat the shit out of each other. I really don't watch hockey, but it seems pretty crazy. I mean, people have taken off their shoes, which have blades, and cut each other.
Look, I've seen Happy Gilmore, all right? So I know how hockey players are. Everything I know about hockey, I learned from Adam Sandler. Stop looking at me, Vaughn. No, but seriously, that's like Canada's #1 sport, and we already talked about the Battle Axe Warriors. But we definitely don't want to have hockey fans on the gang assessment list, because those motherfuckers will probably react violently to being labeled as a gang.
Oh, right? Then we're all fucked. They'll beat the hell out of all of us.
They're all mobbed out. Some of them are painting their faces like Juggalos do, missing teeth. And they're not missing teeth because they forgot to brush, okay? They don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? So why is it okay to label Juggalos a gang? Just because we may be rough around the edges. Not the button-down suit and tie type. A lot of motherfuckers are just making ends meet. Maybe they got factory jobs. But regardless, dude, everybody needs to enjoy, wind down, or watch a fucking hockey game with your family and friends. You know, and when you go to a show, fucking audience is off the hook, right? People are going crazy, shaking the fucking ring, banging on the glass. And then the fights break out. You know, I even seen fucking colleges turn intersections into bonfires and shit up in UNH over their fucking hockey team. Are you kidding me? They're gonna riot whether they lose or win. If they win, it's and if they lose, it's an angry riot. And fucking all hell breaks loose. They're one of the higher risk fucking fan bases. And they know it. And they don't give a fuck. The one and only Kiss Army. Dun dun dun.
You're next.
Are you kidding me? They were supposed to be first. The Kiss Army should have been put on that gang assessment list if they're using the same fucking logic that they're using now back then. This is about the man trying to hold you down. Didn't you ever see that 70s show? Then they all went to Kiss. No, wait, that was Ted. Never mind.
It was Ted. Yeah, it was Ted Nugent. The Nuge.
Which, by the way, if anybody is like a hardcore fan of Ted Nugent, y'all are fucking liable to be droned by the government any point in time. So let's not even go there. But the Kiss Army, they are like the epitome of a fan base gone wild. Everything about Kiss, and literally to the merchandising, to the stage theatrics, to the, you know, keeping your persona a mystery. But the fact of the matter is, every single fan base is at risk of being labeled a gang by the FBI if Juggalos are being labeled a gang by the FBI. And the Kiss Army specifically, with all of their face painting theatrics, that is exactly the game that ICP is playing. Okay, they are not trying to be gang leaders. No more than Gene Simmons is a gang leader. All right, enough said. Number 10 from the top 17 fan bases that are liable to be labeled a gang by the FBI if we don't clear this shit up, and that is La Coca Nostra. And if any hip-hop group is going to be labeled a gang by the FBI,
it's going to be them.
I don't want it to be. I'm just saying, with the way their skull and guns, the bandanas, and all that fucking shit.
I love that type of shit. That's good fucking hip-hop, rap, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's wanting to be so hardcore, and they try real hard. These motherfuckers don't try. They're just, that's how they grew up. You can tell fake from real.
Anybody who's doing hardcore hip-hop nowadays is liable to get their fan bases in a fucking gang assessment list just for representing and uniting for hip-hop. And that's a scary thing, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if the country people, you know, because I don't like that shit. But other than that, everybody else, I wouldn't want to see them on this.
All right. Well, look, even though Panic wants all you country music fans on the gang assessment list, I'm fighting for our human rights here, and so even those douchebags get a pass in my book. But I'm just I'm not trying to say let's get us off the list and put them on the list. I'm saying nobody should be on this bullshit list in the first place. Right. Especially not former gang members like Snoop Dogg, and he's mainstream at this point. So, you know, all these motherfuckers from back in the day, they escaped the gang life and got into music. So you're taking somebody like Shags and Jay, who were never really in a fucking gang to begin with, but they escaped that street life by getting into music.
You know, that's so fucking right, dude. You got these people, and we're not saying Violent J or Shaggy, but it could be anybody. It could have been anyone else, like you say. Snoop Dogg was trying to escape the gang life, and because his music represents whatever, you're gonna disrespect him by calling, you know, his fans a fucking gang. I never thought about it like that.
It's just fucking mind-boggling that for the fans of hip-hop and freedom of speech and equality for all races, I would say don't fucking let the FBI label one group of fans of music, because you may be the fan of music that is next in line to be fucking targeted. I don't know, it smells fishy to me. So let's continue with this list of the top 17 fan bases that are likely to end up on this gang assessment list by the FBI. We're back on our professional sports shit, talking about one of the most unpredictable mobs I've ever seen And I'm talking about basketball. Professional and college level basketball fans are bona fide lunatics. Everything from screaming at referees, forget about it. Those brackets during March Madness, these guys...
Fighting over shoes at the mall.
$300 Jordans. I mean,
yeah.
that's your gang apparel right there. Now we see your colors on your feet. You know, maybe they're lighting up every step. I don't know if you got those kind of shoes.
Lighting up like you're 10 years old.
I don't know how these motherfucking gangsters roll. All right, I'm a juggler. I keep it simple. But basketball fans get buck wild during basketball games. All right, all the different gangs in the basketball leagues, all the teams. It's the closest thing there is to the Illuminati. I don't know. But this is why they created these basketball gangs in the first place. And yeah, bring baseball bats if anybody gets out of line.
Oh yeah, meat crackers.
If you don't fall into one of these gangs and root for your home team, then you are liable to fall into a different gang. Like, let's say, become a part of a music movement. I don't think the government likes gangs that they can't control. So, that being said, it doesn't mean that you basketball fans can't be turned on the drop of a dime when the bullshit, snitchy, ratty government decides that you guys are, worthy of being on the gang assessment list. You've been warned. All right, moving on.